What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of this podcast that we're 9 episodes deep and I still can't remember how to say it.
Nope. Not even gonna bother.
We created
Podcast
a podcast, something there.
Did.
Tonight, it is seemingly the trio. Our man's Rob might be running late. He might show up, he might not. You never know. But today, it is, of course, myself and Nev. We got in the house Daniel Santos, a.k.a. Hentai Shintai Shindizzle for Shizzle.
Hentai with an S.
There we go.
You know, it's funny. I remember when I first came up with that in high school, and one of my friends was like, "Shintai? What, did you just put together shit and hentai?"
Oh my god.
I was like, fuck, I can't even argue with that.
And then also in the house, of course, we've got Chris Coelho. There we go.
You're Spanish and you can't say my last name? What's going on here, man?
Sorry, Hananda Scar.
It almost sounded like you were saying Chris Koala.
Chris Koala. There we go. Where's Trudeau at?
Coelho.
Trudeau! Oh, shoot. Okay,
Think about it this way. Okay. Coelho is like conejo. Do you know what conejo is?
Rabbit.
Yeah, exactly. Coelho is the Portuguese version of conejo.
Coelho.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
Coelho. I gotta remember
Conejo,
that for
Coelho.
future reference.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, tonight, we got a couple of things I wrote down. Thankfully, it was my higher self said, you know what? We're not going to have the moderator here, so write some shit down, dog. You never know.
All right.
The mods are asleep.
There we go.
Degeneracy is gonna come about tonight, folks.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to discuss tonight is if you follow me on my other socials, you will know that I recently attended a convention. This is my first anime convention. I want to say post-pandemic, but I think we're technically still in a pandemic of some sorts. I mean, there was still regulations. I had to take a CTR test upon arrival and get the results and all of that good stuff. So they still took preventative measures. Cool beans there. I didn't have an issue with it. It honestly went faster than I thought. I thought I was going to have to go to like a whole other building, and I actually embarrassed myself because when I got there, my dumb ass, instead of saying CTR, I go up to a girl and I said, yo, do you know where the CPR test is at? And, and she looked at me like I was the biggest idiot in the world. I'm like, why she look at, and then oh my God. Where's the CPR? But you know, it's crazy because again, for starters, they still have the preventative measures, so it was a fraction of, because I've been to this convention a couple of different times in the past, you know, pre-pandemic, and it usually is like, you know, shoulder to shoulder, like, you know, the dealer room is packed and shit, but it was a lot more vacant, so it still was a reminder that, you know, we still I don't want to say knee deep, but we're still in the process of what's been going on with the world. But just in general, it was interesting to kind of be out in the wild, so to speak, and be with like a whole bunch of people and anime fans. It honestly felt good. I rolled up with my fam, and we just had honestly a beautiful and memorable time. I got to see Kale Bear, the voice of teen and adult Gohan, as well as the narrator of Dragon Ball Z. We sat through a panel of his, and it was kind of interesting. Learned a couple things. Personally, I was even more excited considering, like, yo, you know, we're in Dragon Ball time. The big movie's coming out next Friday. So that was pretty nice. And I guess I wanted to start off with asking you guys, how has it felt? I know Daniel has been to a couple of concerts, and Chris, you went to Niagara Falls and all of that jazz. How has it felt, you know, now that the pandemic is easing up and after going through the whole situation, kind of being out there, you know, being outside, so to speak, since all of the chaos that the world has been in?
Yeah, for me, it was like, I feel like just in general, I guess, like, even just comparing Canada to the U.S., and like how the pandemic was being handled, I feel like everything was, I don't know, were things canceled for you guys too? Like, cons and all that, and then they just started coming back.
Yeah, they canceled the
Okay,
Anime
okay.
Expo was under.
Yeah, because everything was canceled here too. But then I went to a con. This is a few months back now, like 3-4 months ago. I can't remember how, but anyway, some mandates were still in effect at that point. We didn't have to do tests, but we did have to wear masks inside. But now there's no mask regulations or anything like that. So the next con I go to, which I think is in a couple weeks, I'm pretty sure there will be there's no mandates for that. So it's just, you're just go and cross your fingers, I guess.
How did you feel mingling with people now that, because it was a period where we couldn't be in big crowds and all of that stuff. Like, did you get any sort of, because I know people that they kind of developed over this whole situation, social anxiety and things of that nature. Did you feel anything like that, or?
I know being around people, I definitely know what you're saying. Even now, we don't have mask mandates, but you'll still see people wearing masks and stuff. But it's more because they want to, which I think is totally fine. People can do what they want. But I think for me, I don't have so much anxiety just because, I took the vaccine. I feel if that doesn't keep me, healthy enough, then it is what it is at this point. It's up to God now, I guess. But regardless, people's decisions and whatever they want to do, it is what it is. But I never felt personally uncomfortable with the idea of it. So I feel like I'm a bit of a germaphobe to begin with. So I think I've always kind of had a little bit of that distancing in a sense.
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So really the mask mandate was almost like a blessing for me because it was just oh, awesome. I don't have to smell someone's disgusting breath.
Yeah.
Or yeah, it was it's honestly, more than anything, that was I can't tell you, even back in the day, I used to just working retail. I can't tell you how many times walking, a guy comes up to the counter and he just as soon as he opens his mouth, it's just I don't think you've ever brushed your teeth in your life. It's utterly disgusting.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
Chris,
that part of it was great.
I know exactly what you're talking about because my old boss had terrible fucking breath.
Right?
And whenever he would come by and he would need to say something to me, I was like, this motherfucker.
He'd be nose to nose. Listen here, Daniel.
And it's always people with the worst breath that want to get the closest to you.
It's they have no self-awareness. Dog, back up.
Yo, him having to wear a mask was such a fucking godsend. And even more of a godsend when he got his ass fired. Fuck him, he sucked.
Man.
Fuck that asshole.
Yeah.
That's
But I guess on that front, yeah. Long story short, yeah, I'm not too bothered by it. I feel perfectly fine around people, so it doesn't bother me.
What about you, Daniel? How have you felt mingling with humanity these last, I guess, few months that it started to ease up?
Yeah, so for me, I guess since I still had to go to work regularly, I definitely did feel a difference, obviously, but there was still some semblance of normalcy for me. I feel like it really started to feel I guess kind of weird when I would go to concerts and stuff. And at first there was kind of that, oh man, I'm in a huge crowd. That's fucking weird. But eventually I got used to it. I remember the first concert that I went to when the pandemic started to ease up was Between the Buried and Me. And that was in a tiny ass fucking venue and everyone was on top of each other. And that especially made me feel I definitely caught that shit. I had to have because literally everyone was just on each other's assholes.
Like a mosh
the
pit.
entire time. Especially the music that they played. I don't think For Nev, you definitely wouldn't like them because I don't know about you, Chris, because like it
Black
is just
metal type shit.
death metal, like very aggressive, like lots of like screaming vocals, just like really intense music.
Hey,
So,
I
like-
actually, I actually rock with some of that type of music. Like, for example, I know it's not the greatest example, but the Rainbow Nisha opening, it starts off for like, I don't know, 20 seconds. So, hey.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I got one heavy metal song too,
right.
actually. Like, I wouldn't consider myself a metalhead whatsoever, but especially back in the day, you remember like all those old Dragon Ball music videos that people would make, like the AMVs and stuff?
Yeah.
The one song that I think was used so much, and this is way before YouTube ever existed, was Slipknot, Wait and Bleed. And like watching many Goku versus Vegeta fights during the Buu saga, just like every time that Slipknot song. So to this day, that song still holds like that nostalgia for me because I think of Goku versus Vegeta during that song.
Cool. I mean, I still think BT Bam is a little too intense for you guys, but maybe I'm fucking wrong. We'll see, I guess. But no, yeah. But when I went, that was the first concert I went to. I think the last few concerts, which was like Dream Theater and Coheed and Cambria, I felt a lot more comfortable in those. And I think part of it was also because the venues were much bigger, but also just because I wasn't quite as like freaked out by being in like a huge crowd of people, you know?
Right. Because, yeah, a massive crowd can definitely be a little uneasy. I mean, for me, I've always been, for the most part, like, I'm not the biggest, and it's weird because my goals and aspirations will ultimately lead me further down the rabbit hole of being around people and all of that stuff. But I've always been more so, whatchamacallit?
Introvert?
Introvert. There you go. Thank you so much. That's always been me. Like, I rock with the people I rock with and stuff like that. Like, even at the convention, I get recognized, especially Hello. It's an anime convention. If anybody's going to recognize me anywhere, it's going to be there. And I guess I was kind of just, like, out of it to a certain degree when, like, people would come up to me. And there was, like, this one dude. And if you're watching this, dog, it was nothing to do with you. But when he came up to me, he's like, yo, Finev, I don't know if you remember me, but what's good, man? And I was just there, like, this is really happening right now. like, because I get recognized, even on casual times or whatnot. But I do think to a certain degree that, the whole pandemic and especially like, 2020 and a lot of 2021 where we really wasn't outside and all of that stuff, it did have somewhat of a more effect of pushing me a little further into it. But thankfully, like mentally, I can kind of prepare myself a little more because, I've been around the block and been in big crowds, red carpet premieres and all of that stuff. So it kind of was somewhat of an adjustment period, but like midway through, I was just kind of like, all right, we doing it, whatever, people come up and it's fine and shit like that. But I can only imagine there's people out there that probably this is like a whole new world for them because mentally being in the house so much, like that's not good for anybody in general. Just, forget the pandemic. Being in the house too long, that's not good mentally. It's something otherworldly. So I couldn't imagine people that were locked up for months on end in the house going bonkers over, everything that went on.
Yeah, I feel like, I guess in general, I would also consider myself like really introverted. But I'm more of like, I don't know. I did that one of those tests and I like literally it came out as I'm an introverted extrovert. So whatever the fuck that means. But
that was a fucking Kendrick Lamar lyric.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I come across as I'm an extrovert, but I'm really not. Like I'm very much introverted. So like, constantly being like bombarded with people, I don't generally like that. I like I'm super private person, but yeah, that would be it. I completely forgot where I was going with this.
Now, to dig a little further into that, could you throw the argument that maybe that introverted extroverted situation, the extroverted is more so a persona that you put on because you understand in society to function and to, rub elbows with people, you kind of gotta have to play the game, so to speak? Would you say that that's where the extroverted aspect comes from?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think like as in general, I think I'm pretty good speaking to people, and I think I'm personable because I do like talking to people, but I get very exhausted from it. So it's like, as soon as I like close the doors, it's like I just need to just sit in silence, and not talk for the rest of the day.
It's great that you said that because I remember hearing an explanation of introverts and extroverts that I thought was perfect, because a lot of people just think, oh, introverts are just people that, or say fuck everyone else, and extroverts just love hanging out with people. But what it really is that extroverts gain, like, they recharge their battery by being with other people and interacting with other people. And introverts are the opposite, where we recharge our batteries whenever we're by ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because I do enjoy talking to people. Like, I'm enjoying talking to you guys, right? But then it's like, this is more like, for me, in order to like actually feel like I'm rested, I need to just not talk to anybody for a while and like just disconnect and
but there are people where like they get energy from that social interaction, and I'm not like that. I'm like you, like after I talk to certain people, after a while I'm just like, I need a fucking nap. Give me I'll fucking get under the blankets.
I'll throw an extra layer to that, where I can relate to you guys where I recharge my batteries when I go inside, except one aspect. When I'm in creative mode, if I'm around a group of creatives and we are crafting, I can go the distance with interaction, because it's like, I don't know, and it has to be a creative mode of something that I really, really love. Like if I'm with a bunch of people and we're making music, oh my god, I can go because I really, really fucking love making music, and especially if I'm with like-minded people and we're helping each other and all of that stuff, that it doesn't necessarily exhaust me. It's kind of like small talk of like, going to the store and they ask, oh, how's your day? Why are you you don't care how my day was. I know you don't care. You're looking at me like you wish I would fucking get out of the store. So why the small talk? Sometimes I'll just be like, I'll just mutter, because it's like, that's the shit that drains me, because it's like, it's wasteful interaction.
Yeah.
Dude,
100%.
I fucking feel you. I fucking feel you so hard. Like recently, the battery in my car died and I had to take it to like a fucking Pep Boys or whatever. And I was sitting in the waiting room and two motherfuckers these motherfuckers were trying to talk to me the whole time. And the caliber of conversation was like this one guy being like, oh yeah, I like to play solitaire on my computer. And I swear to God.
Hey, have you taken a CPR test recently?
I was like, I was trying to be nice, and I was like, good for you, man. But in my head, I was like, there's elevator music going on between this motherfucker's ears.
I swear. Especially where, like, if they say, like right now, this is genuine laughter. Like, I'm genuinely having good conversation and laughing. What about those instances where you're, a stranger or something, and they say, like, a little corny joke, and it's like, damn, I really, I don't even give a fuck right now, man. I got to get back. My daughter's waiting for whatever the fuck. And you're like, yeah. It's like, oh, God, I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Oh, dude, it kills my soul every fucking time I have to pretend laugh.
Just to be nice, just to not hurt their feelings.
You're
like, oh, real funny.
Yeah, or like you're waiting in line for something, and like the person next to you is like, those people, like they have to make a comment about the people like working there or something, and you're like, oh yeah, you got them good there.
No. I don't put up with that shit. The people, essential workers, their lives are tough enough as it is. Don't make fun of them. That ain't cool.
Unless they're being an asshole, then it's a little bit like
okay.
Wiggle room.
If they're
there.
okay, if they're being a little shit, that's fine. But if they're just doing their job, don't make fun of them. Leave them alone. They're making minimum wage, working their shitty little job. Just leave them alone. Leave them be.
Or then you'll have the motherfuckers that'll come up with like, small talk of like their political opinion, and they'll be like, like a motherfucker come up, man, if Trump was in office, we wouldn't have none of this bullshit going on, and I'll just be like, yeah, no doubt, for real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, dog, whether you Biden, Trump, I don't give a fuck right now, dog. I'm trying to get some milk and get out of here. Shut up.
For real.
Yeah, literally the same shit here, man. It'll be the same thing, but it'll be for Trudeau. It'll be like,
Oh, God.
if we didn't have Trudeau, we wouldn't have any of these problems. It's the
But
same
he's giving
shit.
free satellite dishes, dog. Come on.
Just want to say, since Miami is like a totally different world, that shit didn't really apply here.
Oh, no.
So a very, very, very important thing to know about Miami is that it's actually Cuba 2.0. So
I've heard.
it's basically like 90% Cubans down here, and the other 10% is everyone else.
Dexter taught me that, actually. The live action serial killer guy. Every episode is like, hey, look, there's Cubans. Ellos están bailando. Huepa.
Some nice chongas.
Oh, shit.
I've actually
from
never seen
Hialeah?
Dexter.
It's a fucking good show. Well, it's a good show minus season 8, and I don't know about the new season that they just released. Even though I got it on Blu-ray, which, holy shit, that's my next. After I finish The Boys, I'm running over to finish that final season of Dexter.
I did watch
How's
the
that
new
run
one.
through been going for you?
The Boys?
hmm
I'm fucking in love with it, man. I'm almost done with season 2, and I'm so sad because I know I'm going to blow through season 3 because I heard nothing but fucking craziness.
Yeah,
Real
season 3 is
quick.
pretty great.
Because you mentioned before something about like, oh, we didn't really go through an apocalypse, but that reminded me of a game that I played recently called Finger Bones.
Fingerbone?
Did you play
Really?
this with a girl?
Really, dog? Fingerbone?
That's what it's called. Yo, you laugh, but the game is actually really fucked up.
Oh, shit.
So like, it's
I played
literally
Finger Bones this weekend too.
I'm sure you did.
Your fingers is hurting, my lord.
Lots of fingering and boning. No, but it's actually a game that you can download for free on Steam. Super short, 30 minutes long. It's like a psychological, like, horror game. And the whole point is that, like, you go into these sheds and you're, like, reading these notes. And these notes are being left by this dad who's just, like, really fucked in the head. And he's just, like, coming up with, like, these really bizarre excuses for, like, really shitty behavior.
This is
I
like a
don't wanna
mobile
spoil-
game, or?
No, you could download it on Steam. I don't know if I should spoil it because it's actually really fucked up. Like, what ends up happening
Well, it's
is
called
really, really
Fingerbone,
fucked
but...
up. It's called that for a reason. I'll tell you that. Just in case anybody, because it is free and it is short, I'm not going to spoil it just in case anybody watching wants to check it out. But just be warned, it is real fucked up when you find out what's going on. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Fingerbone. That's gotta be the time we were reincarnated as motherfuckers that witnessed the fingerbone.
Ew.
Wait, so sorry, which genre is this game again?
It's like it's a first-person psychological horror game.
VR
damn.
pornography.
Yeah,
The meta nurse.
yeah, and the reason I brought it up was because the story kind of has something to do with like the post-apocalypse. That's why.
Gotcha. Well,
But anyways, Rob,
With
how
the
you doing,
moderator
man?
is here. Now I could turn off my fake, hey guys, so what do you think?
Dude, we went hiking today. And then I was cleaning the house, and I woke up 5 hours later.
Oh, you just
damn.
woke up?
Yeah.
A hike will do that to
Oh,
you.
no
Some
wonder.
crazy exercise, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we did like we didn't even do like half as long as like what we normally do, which was around an hour that we did, hour and some change, but we had the dogs with us. So it was a little more taxing.
Oh, I'd
And
imagine.
so by the time we got back, I was like,
Shit. Wow, that's dope though. Hiking, honestly, I've never been, but I've always thought like, oh, so like just so I'm clear, like you hike like up a hill or a mountain or.
so the trails really depend on where you go, where you live, or whatever. I know over here, because we live in Jersey, there are some mountainous regions or whatever. And there are harder trails. So the first three times that I've gone, which is ironically all this year within the same 2 month span, was like, you go down this hill, but then it's like at the bottom of it, it's like right by the shore. No, not Jersey Shore. It's right by the shore, and they have these things called like the giant steps, which is really just like a bunch of big ass rocks that are like that you got to crawl across or whatever, kind of scramble. And then you get to the end of it, and then there are like more stairs that you got to climb to go back up the mountain. That's like the harder trail. The one we did was a bit easier. You still like kind of go down the mountain, but it's more like a winding path. Um, and so there's not like as many stairs or whatever, at least as far as we went. So that was pretty cool.
Are those stairs like um ancient stairs or some shit where there could be like a conspiracy that those were stairs that giants walked on? I love shit like that.
Okay, so it's funny you say that because that's definitely what I was thinking the first time I went. And like, because some of the stairs are like really big or whatever. And it does look like, ancient civilization used to be there or something. Like, there's even like what looks like used to be a fort or something. Like, not like a big fort, but there's definitely like some rubble. And then there's like what used to be like a doorway or something. So I'm wondering if maybe back in ye olden times or some nonsense that there was inhabitants somewhere out there.
That would
There's
be
even a
sick.
car out there flipped over.
Holy shit. Sounds like Gustavo Fring was in action, flipping cars and shit, or Lalo Salamanca.
Yeah, so that was my day, and I'm ready to go back to sleep. I'm not even gonna not even gonna hold you. I just saw the time and I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
All the
I feel
guys
you,
are holding it
man. I
down.
feel you.
So everybody has their days, man. Real quick, I wanted to get your input on this because we was talking about um, big social gatherings post pandemic, even though we're still in whatever phase at this particular point. But how has it been for you integrating back into society? Like recently, I went to a con. Shintai's went to concerts. Chris went to Niagara Falls and stuff like that. For you, has there been like any changes, or how have you felt just kind of going back into big public functions since all this is kind of slowly getting into more of a normalcy?
Funny enough, I don't know if I've ever said it on here, but I used to work for Xfinity, Comcast, whatever you want to call it, and I used to be a cable tech. So for me, social distancing wasn't really that much of a thing because by uh month two, month three of the pandemic starting, like we were still going in houses or whatever. The only difference is like they didn't want to give us face masks until like the CDC was like, okay, guys, everyone kind of has to wear this. It's a little mandatory now. So for me, like I've always just been around people.
Mm.
Granted, the irony of it is that I'm an introvert and a homebody, so it's like a real chore to get me out the house. Post pandemic, I've been in more social gatherings this year than like the past 4 years combined. It's ridiculous, and it's been pretty cool. I mean, I've gotten to meet a lot of cool people, a lot of famous people, a lot of people I looked up to, and I'm having a blast. Honestly, once I go back to wherever I'm originally from that's not New Jersey. I don't want you bastards trying to find me. uh, it'll probably be like, business as usual either way. So it's been pretty cool. Granted, the nature of what I do is music related, so I kind of have to be in the mix to be seen and be known.
Oh, that's dope. It's crazy. We're a cast of introverts. We were all just talking about how we're introverted and how recharging our batteries when we get back indoors and stuff like that.
Oh, dude, my girlfriend gets like so mad when I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to talk right now. I've been social all day, or I've been social like all week, and I just need like 1 hour of alone time. And she'd be like, an hour? But I want to talk right now. Okay.
I feel that.
Dude, it'd be like even worse to be like, no, sorry, I need the whole day. So I'll talk to you tomorrow.
What are you watching?
See, I know the day. I know the whole day is asking for a lot. Okay. So, quick question to maybe we stumbled onto something. How much alone time are you allotted in a relationship?
Dude, my last one, 0. Like literally 0. I've mentioned the nightmare of her. Like I was married to her. I was in a nightmare situation.
You couldn't
like,
watch fucking
wait,
Dragon
wait.
Ball.
yeah, that's right. I couldn't even watch Dragon Ball. Like,
Wow.
Okay,
You
so
married that?
I married that. Like, I feel like I'm usually really sensible in my life, and I don't know what the fuck happened there, but I made some of the
shit.
worst
wait,
decisions.
so you were legit like married.
Yeah, legit married.
Oh, dude.
Did the whole going down the aisle shit. All your family's there.
And then
man.
you divorced.
Did you break dance on the aisle?
I did break dance at the wedding. Not down
Did
the
you?
aisle, yeah. With all my friends.
Did you do the head spin?
Did I? No, I didn't do any head spins. No.
Oh man, if it would have been like a white chick scene, that'd have been like super sick. No, okay, so I've been blessed enough that she's very open to like wanting to watch new things, whatever. So like she wasn't really into anime before we got together, and she wasn't into like non-black shows like that too much. So Scrubs was a whole new concept to her. She's really fucking with Scrubs. I'm like,
Yo,
what?
Scrubs is a good fucking show.
Scrubs is such a good show, and I'm having a good time rewatching it. I love Scrubs. It's a very good comfort show for me. But yeah, so I feel like if I'm doing something without her, I'm doing something wrong. this one thing.
Okay, I hear you.
I think
hear
it's the
you.
You're
nature
cheating
of
on her right now.
I think it's the nature of the
Yes.
relationship because I know when I was with my baby mom, I remember this one time in particular that kind of learned me something. I literally was just like, yo, I just want a minute. So I went to lay in the other room for like 20, 30 minutes. And I remember her coming in and say, you think I don't fucking know what you're up to? That's not like you, Tim. You don't fucking go to another room. What are you doing on your phone? Oh, my God. So it depends on the person because I'm sure there'll be somebody else that'll be like, yeah, go to the other fucking room. I want some space my goddamn self.
Yeah, trick, yeah. That's what you should have told her.
Do you see those memes where it's always like the girl's in bed looking angry at the dude? He's just like sleeping. It's like, oh, I know what he's thinking about, right? But it's usually like just nonsense. Like we're thinking of anime or some shit.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. She's like upset, and she's like, "I bet he's thinking of other women." And he's like, "When is Guts gonna get off the fucking boat?"
Oh, shit. I love that meme.
Yeah, those memes are pretty funny. Or like the late night texting ones. Those are pretty funny too.
Yeah,
Goodness.
but safe to say, I will never go into a relationship like that again. I'm like, I need space. I need to be able to do my thing. If I can't have that, like, I will not put up with that. Like, I need someone who's like comfortable with the fact that like I need some me time.
Yeah, I think that goes even further into like, cause like me, I'm very goal oriented. You know what I'm saying? Like I prioritize my time. I put piece like, okay, this is the time to do this. I'm gonna spend time with my daughter, yada yada. And I think if you're matched up with somebody that they also have their goals, and it don't gotta be like, I'm not expecting that you're trying to, do anything major. Like even if it's just like, hey, I'm trying to do this little online coupon account, whatever the fuck it is. Like that also will allow them to be in their zone while you're in your zone, and then eventually we meet in the middle. I think having somebody that is goal oriented as you, if you're, really into grinding and shit like that, I think that that's something that allows that you both will have that time to miss each other. Like, man, once I'm off this and she's on the same path, then you probably won't have those issues of time strengths and stuff like that, because it kind of gets daunting.
Do you guys prefer talking all day to your significant other, or do you like prefer going through your day and talking about your day once you can do that?
For me, it's bursts. It's like no way, like a 24-hour conversation like all day long. I would probably kill myself, to be honest with you. In Minecraft, just so that YouTube.
Oh my god!
In Minecraft.
Yeah.
I can't talk to anybody for like 24 hours a day. We're just going over that introvert thing. Being like, I would literally be burning like butt on both ends. Like I need to be able to fucking chill.
Oh shit.
So, all right, which one of you guys have seen the movie Pulp Fiction?
I know.
Oh yeah, man, that's a classic. Fiction. I love that movie.
Okay. I always bring up this line from the movie whenever I talk to a girl, because to me it is the most important thing in a relationship. Where there's a scene where Uma Thurman, yes, she's having dinner with John Travolta, and they're just chilling, they're eating, they're not saying anything, and then she says, "Do you feel that?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "The fact that we were able to share a comfortable silence. We didn't feel the need to fill the air with meaningless words." And I always held on to that because I thought that was so true. Because that you're with someone that you really fuck with when you could just be together in the same room and not feel uncomfortable just being there and not having to say something. And that's when I know when I'm with a girl that I really fuck with.
That is very good. I like that answer. Holy shit.
I actually do remember that line, and I don't disagree, because being able to have comfortable silence is just as important as being able to not feel like you're having to strain for a conversation. Like the conversation just like naturally
it just
flows.
And, yeah.
And you're not like looking for, reaching for topics to talk about,
Yeah. Oh, dude, I've been on some fucking awkward dates where I'm just like,
so
yeah, where I'm just like, oh man, there was one girl I tried to go on a date with, and all she talked about was fucking World of Warcraft, and I was like,
what type of girl is
like,
that, dog?
Oh,
sounds
nerd.
like an orc or
World
something.
of Warcraft.
that was it.
What do you mean you don't play Ragnarok online? Are you kidding?
Dude, that was it. And she was like such a hard, and that was it. She was such a hardcore like World of Warcraft fan, and the only other games she played were MMOs, and that's all she liked to talk about. And I'm like, I ain't down with that. I ain't not down with that.
You know what's the best thing about the example you just said? It's almost like you just had an experience of like what every like nerd dream is. Like a girl's like super into gaming, like she's like super hardcore. And then you have that example right there where you're like, maybe that dream isn't exactly what I thought it would be.
Maybe this is what Chris's wife thought of him.
Ooh, what are you watching?
Oh my god, do you like those sweaty anime guys?
Well, the thing
my
is,
God.
most of the girls that I have dated, throughout my whole life, have all been girls that have been into nerdy shit. They've all been girls that either liked anime or liked games, or or both. But this girl only liked World of Warcraft, and that was it. And she was obsessed with it. She was she had like multiple accounts, and she had dreams of like working for Blizzard and shit. And I was like, no, I am not the guy for you. You need someone that loves this shit as much as you do. That ain't me. They ain't never gonna be me.
Some would even say you looked at her and you said, "Wow."
Oh, okay. Wow, yeah.
Oh, I need to
That
reveal
took me a
this.
second to get that.
This is a slow burner, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
I was,
Yeah.
I was like, wait, is he talking about like the awkwardness of the silence with her? And then, oh, wow.
I don't know why, but that reminded me. The way that I broke things off with her was the worst thing I could have did. Where like we were supposed to meet up, but my mom was making ribs that day, and I was like, and I basically told her I'd rather eat my mom's ribs than go out with you.
That sounds so fucked up. I'd rather cannibalize my mother than fucking talk to you, bitch.
So why didn't you just like tell her you were like the opposite of whatever faction that she was a part of, and like you just couldn't do it, right? So if she was Alliance, you'd just be like, "I'm sorry, but I'm bored."
Yeah.
And
I don't know,
I don't think this will work. And then you just start speaking in gibberish, right? Because like Horde and Alliance can't understand each other in chat. So you just make up words or something, and then you
How
log
long
out.
ago was that?
I want to say like early last year or
Oh.
January, something like
Oh,
that.
god damn.
Oh, so you weren't even like up on, the true experiences of WoW Classic, which, she was on that wave and you were still stuck on the new WoW, and, she was still on the old Busted and you were on the new hotness.
Would you
The
be
new hotness being Final Fantasy 14.
would you be able to tolerate
Let me
that
tell you about
shit?
award-winning Final Fantasy 14.
Let's just say she was so into it, right? And she's like, yo, the type of girl that she's gonna give you head while you playing WoW because she loves WoW so much. Would you have been able to tolerate that shit then? Like, she's just down for, as long as there's some WoW in it, I don't know, she'll fucking have a threesome every day with you as long as, like, WoW is somehow involved. Could you tolerate it then? And, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be for the right reasons, per se, but would you still go along with the shenanigans?
I would literally create an account right now.
How much is the monthly subscription again? It's fine.
Well, she's giving you head, you just
Yo.
keep on, wow.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
listen, the name of this episode should just be WoW.
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 We need a meme of that shit. What's that guy's name? He goes, wow. The blonde dude. Actor. Oh, he did.
It's just like 2 million.
This like blonde actors.
Fucking, we got Flavor Flav. Wow.
Wow.
With the fucking clock.
Yo, Flavor Flav.
Now, I'm just combing through that one actor that's blonde.
Yo, shout out to Flavor Flav for banging Brigitte Nielsen.
Is it Alec Baldwin?
Oh God, Alec Baldwin. Oh, it just came out too that what was it, that he actually pulled the trigger because he tried to say he'd never pulled the trigger or something like that, or that it was a freak accident. The feds came and said no, he pulled that trigger. Poor Alec Baldwin.
Really?
Oof.
Well, not poor Alec Baldwin, because if he did some shady shit, if this was all some dark, heavy stuff, then what happens happens.
What to set him up?
I don't know what the fuck happened there, but it just sounds a little fishy. Oh my god, y'all saw the shit with Anne? Is it Anne Heck, the actress that just died? Like I think either yesterday or today.
No, I saw the one the lady from Greece died a few days ago.
Dude, they had her in a body bag, and they pulling the strap. This was some shit that had me scared because LAPD, I don't fucking know what's going on over there. It's from the helicopter. The helicopter is shooting down. They're like, yeah, they're found dead, blah, blah, blah. And she pops out of she unzipped herself out of the fucking body bag. And as they're they just pushed her and pushed the fucking thing into the fucking, I don't know what's that called, where they put like dead bodies in the trucks and shit like that. I was like, and then apparently she was pronounced dead hours later. Because they said she's dead, put her in a body bag. She fucking got up, unzipped herself. And then they pushed her in, and then hours later she was supposedly pronounced dead. Something doesn't sound right.
This is on video?
On video, you could look it up. They in
Whoa.
the helicopter.
I gotta look this up after.
Okay, that's fucked up. That's
It was
fucked up.
It's just a zombie.
Yeah,
It's a zombie. Zombie.
it'd be kind of perfect
The
because we
Walking
kind of
Dead.
need something now that the pandemic is almost kind of wrapping up.
Oh,
It's
they got
like, you know what?
monkeypox.
Oh yeah,
I
there
don't
you
care what you niggas is talking about. When these zombie niggas start popping up, I'm gonna be Negan. I ain't gonna be fucking Rick Grimes and the rest of you motherfuckers. Coral, give me Coral. Coral.
Can you believe they doing a fucking another spin-off with Rick and Michonne? Which, granted, I fuck with Rick and Michonne probably more than majority of the cast, but let it go. Oh my god.
I mean, I already knew. When he first left the show, he said that he like had plans on coming back or some shit. I don't know, and his contract was like renewed for 2 movies or some shit. So I kind of figured at some point they were gonna bring him back, and then they never killed him off in the show. They just like
Left it in
took
the
him
air.
off screen somewhere, you know?
But holy shit. I mean, I haven't been into it since, I want to say maybe towards the end of them going up against Negan when he had that big compound and shit like that. Probably 2017 was like the last real year that I was into it. But I'm just like, more? Because they had the other spin-off, and then they would have the after show that they would have, like, they Walking Dead
Talking
it the
Dead.
fuck out. Yeah, the Talking Dead, yeah.
And then Fear of the Walking
Dead,
Dead.
yeah.
and-
Yeah, they milked
I-
the shit out of that franchise.
The comic is
See,
over.
Is it?
It's finally over?
I think
I had
they,
no idea.
yeah, I think the dude ended it. I mean, because like he was at that point trying to compete with the show, and you ain't gonna be able to compete. And then everybody's getting killed off in the show. I think in the comic he killed. Don't quote me, but I think Rick died in the comic already. But yeah, don't quote
I'm
me. on
pretty sure that's true. Yeah.
So he did say at some point, like he had planned on killing Rick off, and then Carl was supposed to take over, which is why it didn't make sense to me that in the show they did what they decided to do. And I was like, I don't know if y'all gonna last very long like this if you killing off the people that are like supposed to carry this series once the OGs are gone.
You think it was like more of a behind the scenes, like contractual disputes or something, where people are like, "Man, just fucking kill me off. You ain't gonna give me that bread."
I think he just kind of felt like the TV series universe kind of stood separate from the comic / video game universe, because the games, at least the Telltale ones, cross over into the comics, right?
That first Telltale game was really good.
Yeah, with Clem, right? Well,
Clementine.
what was it? Part 1, part 2, both of them with Lee and Clementine.
First one had Lee, but he wasn't in any of the other ones after that for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty sad. I actually cried in that first one. I didn't play the Clementine one, but I did cry on the first part with like Lee that you played through.
Dude,
That's dope.
Lee was a real one.
Lee was a real one, and I really thought cutting his arm off was gonna like save him.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Okay,
That was one of the most brutal moments in the game where he wakes up in the middle of it, and while it's happening, it's like so fucked up.
Which death? And spoiler alert for whatever it is I'm about to say it right now, but which death like fucked you up more, Lee or Joel from
Uh,
Last of Us 2?
I think Lee, just because with Joel, it was a lot more obvious. Like
Was it?
for me, because like it, they made such a big deal about like I didn't hear specifically that that was what was going to happen to Joel in part two, but the
Mm.
fact that so much focus was being put on Ellie instead, kind of like like I kind of saw it like way before the game. I even like played the game. I'm like Joel's probably going to die. Like I just like saw that happening.
See, I thought it was like they were gonna go for a reverse scenario where you know how in the first game eventually you get separated from Ellie and you have to like go find her. I thought like it was gonna be the case of like, well, the guys like kidnapped Joel and they're holding him hostage, so like now as Ellie, you got to go through all these obstacles to get to where Joel is and kind of rescue him from the Fireflies, the same way that he did her at the end of the game. Boy was I, boy was I wrong, and
Nope, nope.
much
They just wanted revenge.
yeah, much like Lee, like you spend the entire first game playing as this character, except unlike Lee, like at the end of the game when they get rid of him, you like this is a whole new fucking game, and you're like, oh shit.
I also feel like with Walking Dead with Lee, I think the way that he goes out is a lot more impactful because it did depend on the decisions you made with Clementine, but at the same time, I feel like since Clementine had such a big part of that final sequence of the game, I think that added to the emotion of the final sequence.
I'm gonna hold you. I didn't finish Last of Us 2 yet, not because I wasn't enjoying it, but at some point I was like, I would really just rather enjoy this game on PS5.
Fair.
You see, Spider-Man $60 on Steam.
Yeah, I already played Spider-Man on my PS4. I'm good. I don't need that shit.
Wait.
Dude!
Sorry, you can get Spider-Man on not PlayStation?
Yeah, it just dropped
Yeah.
like a few days ago.
On PC.
Mhm.
I've not played it yet, and I've been hoping that it would actually drop on like a non-Sony console.
It's on Steam.
Well, let me tell you what, brother. I hope you're a One Piece fan.
One Piece sucks. I want to see the haters just raging in the comments right now.
This guy.
No, actually, I
Yo.
love One Piece. One Piece is fucking amazing.
Each nation.
Good. So then you're not a fan. You're not a stranger to piracy.
Oh, nope.
Wait, is that Spider-Man
Or
game?
maybe.
Because they had the Miles Morales edition or something like
That's
that.
not on there yet, but I'm sure it'll come to Steam too. Right now, it's just Spider-Man, the remastered version.
Miles Morales is a sequel.
Yes, it's like a whole game, not DLC.
Yeah, most people they were screaming like, "Oh, it's only X amount of time or something." So it's actually like a whole full.
It's full-fledged. I think it's like 6 hours or some
I
shit.
I think
worth of
I think
gameplay.
it's at like a bit of a reduced price. I think like it's like a $40 game because it's like a bit of a shorter
Yes.
game.
Yeah.
But
Was it?
still,
Because I
I
guess
think
it's
that's-
like it's completely built off the other game, so it's not like they had to start all over again from scratch, right? Like they could use
Right.
a lot of the
Yeah.
assets from that game.
Yeah.
they
yeah.
reused the town, the New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think of it as like conceptually like back when, Nintendo 64's expansion pack actually mattered. And it's
Oh,
just the
Majora's
same
Mask?
shit. But yeah, but like more. Exactly. So it would have been like they probably just reused the Ocarina of Time skin and, put something else on it and called it a new game. In this
Majora's
case,
Mask was made in like under a year.
Was it really?
that's
Yeah.
actually like kind of surprising considering how intricate it was.
Yeah.
Because that mask system, like in terms of collecting, there was a lot of stuff you had to do, and if you did certain stuff before you did other stuff, you like pretty much like soft locked certain masks out of the
So
game.
So what's really interesting is that originally the game was going to be even more ambitious, where it was going to have a 7-day cycle instead of 3 days. But then eventually they were like, that's too much. It's
Too much time.
it was too much. Like they didn't have enough time because Shigeru Miyamoto was like, okay, you only have a year to make this shit. Do it quick. So Aonuma was just like, well, fuck. So the 7-day idea turned into 3 days.
Interesting. I hated 3-day concept, but
I liked it.
I'm not a fan of limited time in a game.
I'm usually not either, but I feel like especially if you use the song of I forget
Time.
exactly what it was I forgot
It's a
what
song
it was
of
called.
time.
One of the songs slowed down time, and I felt like that slowed it down enough to where like you had enough time to do whatever you needed to do.
Yeah, it was. You had to play every note in the Song of Time twice, I think.
I think that was a song of double time. I think that forwarded time.
Well,
I
then
think the
was
song.
it you play it backwards?
Yeah, yeah. I think if you play it backwards, that's what slowed it down. But
Yeah, that's right. That was
yeah.
double time. I did love Majora's Mask though. Granted, I had to use the emulator Game Shark codes to get all the masks,
Oh
so I
God,
can have
Game
it.
Shark
Dude, I used
Game
the
Shark.
shit out of Game Shark
and Game
for
Genie. Anyone
Pokemon.
remember that shit?
Oh
Game
yes.
Genie. Yeah.
I didn't have Game Genie, but I had Code Breaker.
Oh man.
Oh my
Those
god,
days.
yeah, Codebreaker too. I don't
Yep.
remember which one I had. I had one of them though.
Anyone else a little frustrated with something that has become, in my opinion, maybe I'm not the biggest gamer, I game here and there, but I'm really not a fan of. I feel like they expand a lot of games and make it seem like they're a lot longer by adding in fetch quests. And I think I've had this conversation with Shintai a few years ago, but I
hate fetch quests.
swear I feel like they'll be like, yo, this game is like 80 hours, but like 20 to 25 of those hours, maybe even 30 of those is, hey, bring Greg the medicine over in the other village. Walk, walk, walk,
Yeah.
walk, walk. I hate that. Like, how is that enjoyable? I mean, granted, maybe some people, they get really immersed into it, so they fuck with it. By all means, I'm just speaking on my experience. I fucking hate it. I feel like it's a cheat.
My thing about fetch quests is, in the beginning of a game, I can understand because you're learning how to play the game. It can serve as like a soft tutorial without making you feel like you're just staring at the screen. Press A to do this. Yeah, you just kind of learn the game, and it's like weaning you into like its mechanics and its system and its world and all this. But once I'm at like hour 10, why am I still doing fetch quests? You know what I mean? I can't recall like ever watching like you don't turn on Game of Thrones and they're like, okay, yo, look, I need you to go out here to these 15 wild boar and bring me 25 coarse hares, and then I'll make this money pouch for you. You know what I mean? Why do I have to deal with that in the game?
And if they
I'd
do
say
that
they're-
shit, it's basically like you're gonna get some exciting shit along the way to go and get that shit. There's gonna be a crazy bloody battle, not just walk, 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 and sometimes even you gotta go real slow because the bats are gonna attack you, so you gotta go even slower, which makes more that they can add that this game is 80 million hours. No, motherfucker, this game is like 50 hours, and you lied about
Right.
the other shit.
So I think fetch quests are okay. Again, where Rob said like if it's like early stuff, but I also think they're acceptable if they're side quests, right? Like if they're making you do that as part of the main story of the fucking game, get out of here with that shit.
Wasn't that the
I
big thing
personally
about
find-
Kojima? Sorry about that. Just last
No,
thing.
no worries.
With Kojima's latest, not late. I don't know if it was the last.
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. Wasn't that like the big thing that a lot of people said that there was just so much fetch quests in there?
That was the game, from what I understand. The whole game was you're a delivery man.
Throw it
I
in
was gonna say,
rice.
it seemed like the nature of that game. And I didn't even really play it, so I still don't actually know what it's about. But it kind of seemed like the whole concept of that was a fetch quest from like jump.
How
with
was
the
that
fucking
entertaining?
baby, right?
I haven't played it myself, but from what I understand, like it, what made it entertaining, I guess, for people was like it was fun to maneuver, like because it was challenging because the more shit that you had on your body, the better rewards you would get, but that made you a lot heavier. So you had to use more ingenuity in order to figure out like how to transport the goods.
Boring.
I mean, if it's anything like any Uncharted style game today, which is pretty much all of them, where they're functionally like either Uncharted or what's that other game, the Arkham series, right? Like it's like the easiest way is just stealth mechanics. You just sneak your way to the goal.
Chris, you were gonna say something?
Yeah.
No, I think like for me personally, I actually find that a huge turnoff. Like games that are super long, like if they use that as a marketing tactic, like this is 80 hours, I'm like, not gonna touch it.
I don't got 80 hours, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't have 80 hours.
I got a
man.
solid 20 for you.
And honestly, the perfect game that I played, I think I told you guys about this like a little while back, but it was called Katana Zero.
Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, it's literally like 3 hours.
All killer,
Yeah.
no filler.
Exactly. No filler at all, but the story is so fucking good. I have never in my life, not a single game in my life have I ever been like fully invested in the story. A lot of the time I'm just like anytime there's a wall of text, I'm not even reading it. I'm just like go. I'll figure it out as I go. I don't give a shit. And then 10 minutes later I'm like shit.
I should have read that shit. Fuck.
All right, better pull up the walkthrough now because I don't know what I'm doing. But
Katana Zero
imagine
is
doing
legit.
all that and then like you hit A again and the owl is like, okay, I'm gonna repeat that all for
Oh,
you
you
again.
motherfucker.
Dude, oh my god, I hate that shit. It's
Ocarina of
just
Time,
like,
yeah.
no.
Ocarina of Time.
Oh, shit.
Yo, fuck that owl, dude. Oh my god.
Naruto Storm started adding more of that shit as the games progressed. Like in the beginning there was some, but they were mainly like side shit. But the second one, it was like, can you carry Tonton the pig over to Tsunade? Then as it progressed, it got worse and worse. Of like, I don't want to do this shit. Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles, I skipped all of that shit because I hate it.
Yeah, I didn't fetch quests and side quests and like games like that for like anime games if you're gonna stick to like the storyline is kind of really off-putting because I really just want to enjoy like playing through the story. I don't want to do all this like extra side shit. I understand that you guys are trying to like have more content for like people who want to play the game longer, but if that's the case, like put more focus into adding game modes that actually make you want to play the game longer. Like, I don't know, people who... You guys remember, like, the Dragon Ball Z Final Bout game on PlayStation 1? You know... Did you know that if you play through the mode where, like, you're just, like, fighting a bunch of people back-to-back, did you know, like, the more that you, like, use attacks, the stronger they got? So the more your character leveled up, if you fucked around and like only use like if you were like one of like people in like Naruto Online will spam like a fucking Rasengan through the whole game.
Me.
So in that aspect, right? If all you use were Rasengan to like run through like the fights, then your Rasengan would be like the only attack you had after a certain point that was like worth any damage. So but if the AI like kind of figures out your fighting style and they're always dodging the Rasengan and you got to use other attacks, you're doing no damage.
You're fucked.
Shit.
And I thought that was a cool concept because you had to actually like be well-rounded with the way you played the game. Otherwise, after a certain skill cap point, you're just getting your shit kicked in. And I think more fighting games should do stuff like that.
Dude, Final Bout was the first game I ever One Pieced. It was like unbelievable.
What, that you didn't watch?
One Piece.
Was the game too long?
As in, the characters are what? R
Black?
lady.
Oh,
Hey, you said it, not me. Just that's on the record.
Oh shit. Yo, that one
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22 is one of the worst
shit ever.
I still
Worst
remember the
shit
cheat code to
ever.
get everything. Up, triangle, down, X, left, L1, right, R1. Never can forget
Why
it.
do you
for whatever-
remember that?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Wait, is that the one? Was that on SNES?
No, it was
That was on
PS1.
PlayStation.
Yeah, PS1.
Oh, was it? Wait, what's that one called?
Ultimate Battle 22. It had everybody in it, but like the thing about the game, it was like if you were too far apart, then the screen would do like the split screen mechanic where it would put like that little diagonal line.
Oh yes.
And
Okay.
you wouldn't be able to see shit. Like you wouldn't know where anybody is, and it felt like
Oh yeah.
did it feel like the stages were bigger than they actually were because of that mechanic?
Might have been.
It
It
was
was so
cool
con-
to
I know-
see,
yeah.
like, oh shit, Super Saiyan 3, whoa. Like, it looked cool, but God, that game sucked.
Did you guys ever play Bid for Power?
Yes, yo, I swear it feels like nobody else knows about that game.
Yes, man.
So Bid for Power, dude. It's crazy that nobody knows about Dragon Ball Z Bid for Power because
What system?
A, it's on PC. It's a modded
Quake
Unreal
game.
Tournament.
Sorry.
right?
Quake,
No,
Quake,
it was
Quake? No.
was-
I'm
it
not.
was-
No, it wasn't Quake. Sorry.
Quake 3. It was Quake 3.
Was it Quake? Oh yes.
Quake
Yeah.
3 mod?
It
Yep.
was a
That's
Quake 3
fucking
mod.
Weird.
I
was a
literally
Quake 3 mod.
went to the store to buy Quake 3, and I've never played Quake 3 in my fucking life. I bought it just so I could download Bid for Power. That was it.
Yes, and it was, it's just
Quake,
crazy.
Quake is fucking legendary. Respect
Bid
to
for
Quake.
Power is the reason. I don't care what anybody says. Bid for Power is the reason that anybody even gets Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi. It's so think Tenkaichi with like Quake 3 like level of like mechanics or whatever, and I'm talking like they had almost every Dragon Ball Z character you could think of, even like the ones that were like not real. So you could play Super Saiyan 5 Trunks.
Oh God.
It was amazing.
I need
the
to. I
community
need to
behind
see
it.
game. I need to see gameplay of this.
Go to
Yeah,
YouTube. I'll put a link in the server of like
Okay,
some gameplay
so-
footage, and you could play online back then.
Yes.
So it wasn't
Okay,
even
so
like
real
you just play it and it's you. You could play other people online.
Yep.
So wait, Quake. For those that don't know, Quake is a first-person shooter. I'm looking at gameplay right now, and they turned it into a third-person game.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's fucking wild.
Quickly, everybody,
you could-
best Dragon Ball game that you played out of all of them. It could be console, handheld, whatever.
So if I'm not speaking biasedly, Dragon Ball Z Legends.
For the PS1?
Yes.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, I love that
Yes.
fucking game. Holy shit,
Yes. And you had to play the game out like the anime or the manga, whatever you want to go by, to actually get certain shit to happen. So on Namek, you had to get Frieza to kill Krillin so that Goku would turn Super Saiyan. Otherwise, you fight Goku as like
Yes.
regular base form.
Yes. Oh.
Outside of Legends, though, I actually think Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is a very, very, very good game.
I sleep on it. I played, but I don't even know. I'm still like in the Saiyan saga or some shit. Like I ain't really get that far. But it is like from what I mean. It's CyberConnect 2, and they're fucking awesome. So
They actually, because of the DLC, they go up to Resurrection of Frieza.
oh well, that's like technically the last Z-ish thing because those when they first came to theaters, it was still like I think marketed as Z movies, right? Something like that.
I don't know, but I mean, after those two, they added the History of Trunks. So I don't know if like at some point they'll add more DLC for like the Super stuff, because with those two movies you get Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan for Goku and Vegeta. So I'm wondering if they'll add Dragon Ball Super stuff, or if they're just like kind of holding that for Kakarot 2 if we're gonna get one of those.
Not sure. For me, honestly, it's either the Game Boy Advance game. It's the name slipping me right now.
Legacy of
something
Goku?
Let's Legacy
Yes,
of Goku.
that's it.
One
which
or
is
two.
what Kakarot kind of is based on.
Oh, okay. I've
One-
not played
one
the
or
Kakarot
two?
game yet. I've only one. I've never played 2.
Two
don't
was
think I've
two
played
was
two.
oh my god! I spent my whole summer playing 2.
So you actually missed out on it because the first one was really good. The second one, they took that and like knocked it out of them.
Going
really?
Super
Talking like-
Saiyan. Ooh.
Okay.
Way better.
I'm
Way
talking
better.
like they even added like fight like like the screen shakes when you connect like a crit, so it feels like it hits harder like when you
Yeah.
get a crit or whatever. It's pretty good. Like they
Yeah,
added
that-
like better techniques and shit.
I saw a developer interview about that game, and they were like, they said with 2 in particular, they were like, we put everything into that game. We're
They
like,
did.
we wanted. They said like we wanted so bad to make a great Dragon Ball game.
Kakarot, I'm sorry, not Kakarot. Legacy of Goku 2 is, for me, probably the pinnacle of Dragon Ball Z games until like you start getting post Budokai games.
Budokai 3, baby. Oh my god! I spent
like 2 better
Budokai
than
3
3.
was legendary.
I spent
I
too
like 2
much.
better than 3.
I love the map shit from 2 where you hop around the
The
map.
map shit in 2 was good.
That was
I
fun.
I like that shit too.
But 3, I just got
But-
so many fucking memories, and it went. You could go Super Saiyan 4 at points. They had like little, like Broly you could run into. Oh, I fucking loved 3. The gameplay was fucking amazing. It was, man.
Yes. I think the only thing I didn't like about 3 is that it was so easy to like get out of being punished because that's when they started adding the counter teleport mechanic, right?
Yeah, that's true. Budokai 1, 2, and 3. I think if we're gonna go like 1v1 type of fighting style Dragon Ball games, Fighters is my favorite.
Yeah,
the new
Fighter
game
Z.
that's like currently out right now.
Well, that's a real like no offense to the other game, but that's a
Yeah.
real fighting game. Like they play that
Yes.
shit
Yeah.
in tournaments
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's made by Arc System Works. Like those.
Yeah.
Those guys are super legit. Those are the guys that make Guilty Gear.
Guilty Gear,
Which is another. If you like fighting games, that's a great game.
I think Budokai 3 probably would have been an Evo game.
probably,
You think so?
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I gambled with my
'Cause
cousins a lot on that game.
I didn't
Sure
think
you did.
I didn't think like it was too unbalanced. Like I think Krillin players could like get busy if they wanted to in Budokai 3.
Because they were given an
I
advantage
think-
with him being shorter, and sometimes punches wouldn't connect and shit like that. So it gave a little bit of an advantage with Krillin.
True. Yeah. Well, I know like even in Fighters, I use Krillin, and like he fucks shit up when every time I use him. Because like a lot of people don't use that character, so I think you get like the slight advantage of like not knowing how to deal with him.
Because he's like a technical character, right? He has a lot of mix-ups or whatever.
Yes, yeah, he's a really good mix-up character. Yeah,
I liked Yamcha surprisingly when I played that game.
Yamcha's another good character. A lot of people use him too. Yeah,
they
I was
put
like
any memes
super
with
into
him?
that game. Oh, 100%. Yeah. They do
Dude, the game
Saiyan
does
thing.
the memes.
Yep, the game does the memes. Yeah,
It's sad.
it's
Poor
actually it's
Yamcha.
really funny.
Poor
You know,
Yamcha.
it's so easy to meme on Yamcha. Like even in that new that fan project that came out recently,
I didn't watch all of it.
Which one?
you linked it in the Discord, Chris.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
The animated one, man. The new one.
Legendary Dragon Ball
Oh!
Legendary, something like that.
Yeah,
Right.
Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a quick shot. There's a quick shot in that where Vegeta like rips off his cape or whatever, and Bulma, who's sitting next to Yamcha dating him, catches it.
Poor Yamcha.
People don't
He's
talk
getting
enough
cucked
about
already.
how fucked up Bulma really is. Like, granted, okay, Yamcha was, cheating on her, I guess, whatever, but to go with the motherfucker that killed him? I mean, just think about it for a second. That's fucked up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you're not
There's
right.
I mean, if we really think about it, there was
You're
a
not
lot
wrong.
of fucked up shit going on in Dragon Ball Z. Like the fact that even though they like Goku pretended like he had a problem with like innocent people being hurt, they kind of treated humans a little disposable just because they knew they had the safety net of the Dragon Balls. Because
you could go
why
to
are you
hell
guys
for a minute,
like,
fuck it, why not? We'll bring you back.
yeah, like, why are y'all so cool with Vegeta when he just obliterated half the audience that just came to see a fight?
But Vegeta, you're a good person. We know it.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
no,
you're not.
he just murdered a shit ton of people. Yeah.
And think about like how just psychologically fucked up that is. Like for a character like Yamcha, who has to now interact with Vegeta, who now has his girl. It's like, this motherfucker killed me, right? So I have like literal trauma from this, and now I have to see him with my girl every fucking time.
In a
Like,
happy marriage.
With kids. Yo,
With kids, yeah.
and married into the richest family in the world.
I mean, I don't know if it
that's so
was
true.
canonical, but I know Yamcha, he got some type of bag because he was playing baseball. I think he was playing Major League Baseball for a while, so.
Well, yeah, because he
Yeah.
was like probably, top 5 strongest humans in the world.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
so
any
he
of those guys
kicked
can make
ass.
bank if they want to, easy.
That's why I was like, yo, you
becomes
guys
a
like,
cop.
Yeah, I know. Like
Yo.
literally, Krillin could have just joined like any sport he wanted to and be a multimillionaire overnight.
Kick Andrew
Right?
Tate's ass.
Yeah. I would love to see that. Fucking like crotch
Krillin.
shot him.
Krillin just fucking up Tate.
Yeah.
which is funny because like, if you're gonna be a cop, like, you might as well join forces with Great Saiyan Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like
yeah.
BFFs back in the day. Like, you go to Z, like, post. Well, even Namek, yeah. Namek on. Like, Gohan and Krillin were really close, but that kind of, like,
Yeah.
disconnected after a while.
After he got to actually spend time with his dad and not his replacement.
Thanks, Krillin. Later.
It is kind of odd, yeah, when you think about it. Like Krillin and Gohan spend so much time together. You think that they would like become really good friends, right? And then it's like after the Saiyan or the Frieza saga, they have so little interaction after that.
I feel like it's just because, like, at the time, like, they were like basing it off the height similarities.
Yeah.
That they initially kind of seemed like they were bonding off of, and then it was like, oh, well, you're my best friend's son, and we're spending all this time together, and now you're like, it's like you're my best friend. And,
Yeah.
and then I died, and then we got back, and then your mom made you go study.
As soon as Krillin had to start looking up, it was like, oh, I can't be friends anymore.
Yo, what if it's legit as simple as Toriyama thought? They're both short and they both look good together in the panels because they're both short.
Oh, I wouldn't
Yeah.
put it past him at all. Toriyama has been described at times as an idiot savant. Like, he just, whatever. Like, from all the stories I read of him, like, real shit. This motherfucker, his manuscript will be due, let's just say, Tuesday morning. He wouldn't get started until like 3 a.m. on going into Tuesday. Like, he really just didn't give a fuck.
This is the same guy that said that Goten and Trunks didn't have tails because he forgot.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
And the most successful, or one of the most successful fucking mangaka of all time, yo. Shout out
Yeah.
to Toriyama. But he was a comedy writer. Like, he kind of slipped and stumbled into becoming a shonen manga god. Like, this dude wrote poopy jokes with Dr. Slump.
Is
Yeah.
that what you call failing upwards?
Yeah, pretty much.
Literally. Yeah. Wow, that's a
Fucking
perfect description.
I mean, that's like conceptually the whole point of a gag manga, right? Because
Yeah.
people look at that as like the bottom of the barrel dirt genres, and you get a really good gag series, and it's the most successful shit ever. Look at Bobobo.
Oh, man. They need to do more with that.
Bobo,
Yes.
I remember watching some of it in high school, and I remember, especially at that time, I was all about like, no, I want to watch cool stuff. What's this fucking Bobo shit? But now that I'm older, I look back at Bobo, I'm like, that should look fucking dumb and funny.
It's
I think I'll
perspective.
probably appreciate it the second time around as an adult that enjoys parody anime.
Did you guys ever
Yeah.
read? Is it called Sandman? Is that the other Toriyama manga?
It's one of his
No.
one-shots. It's Sandland.
Oh, okay. Sandland. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
read that.
Sandman is the Neil Gaiman comic book that got turned into a Netflix show.
You know that.
It's a brand new show that just came out. It just came out on Netflix.
I don't have Netflix.
Well, speaking of shows, The Boys. Oh my God! And please, nobody spoil me. I'm close to the end of season 2, but that fucking show. Oh, one of my friends kept telling me, like, because I was like, man, I'm about to be depressed. I'm about to catch up to Better Call Saul, and I'm going to fill a void. I've been watching this shit for months. He was like, yo, The Boys. Don't worry, The Boys. I was like, all right. Caught up to Better Call Saul. Watched about 24 minutes of The Boys, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm not sad no more. I got something great to watch. That shit is fucking... Oh, I swear to God. Butcher... Mwah, a fucking... I mean, the actor... His, how can you say this? His body language, everything just embodies this fucking British brute, but an intelligent British brute. And I swear to God, I fucking love that show. It is so good.
He's kind of like the perfect kind of character because he's such an asshole, but yet he's so
You
endearing
cunt.
at the same time. Yeah.
Fucking can't.
He's the perfect anti-hero in a sense because it's like every part of him you should hate him, but yet you can't help but feel for him, you know?
I would argue the most righteous person on that show. Again, I'm only towards the end of season 2. I don't know what happened season 3. Mother's Milk. Mother's Milk is more heroic than majority of the fucking heroes in the 7. He is just, yo, he got mixed up with Butcher. Butcher makes his life go crazy and everything falls apart, but if you look at his moral compass, every time there's some situation, he tries to understand like who's in the right or whatnot. Mother's Milk is legit. Like, my favorite character is Butcher. Realistically, the most sound and moral character is Mother's Milk.
What a great name.
Yeah.
Mother's
100%.
Milk.
This is not Father's Milk.
Oh God.
No.
Yeah. Without him though, like with Mother's Milk, like without him, Butcher would have went down the deep end,
Then-
right? Like he's the center that keeps it all working.
They try to play like it's Huey. It's not Huey.
No.
In season 2, I've started to fucking hate Huey. Like, just shut the fuck up and listen to Butcher. Like, I really don't fuck with Huey. But Mother's Milk, best character on the show. My favorite, though, is Butcher, dog. I just love when he fucking, oh my God, what was it? That Huey had exposed some shit. And he wanted, like, some praise for it. Everybody's like, yo, you ain't gonna give him no praise? And he says, I'll tell you what. I'll grab the best fucking lube and I'll tickle your balls. And even when you tell me to stop, I won't.
Man, he has so many fucking great lines like that. Like, it's like you have to be British to be able to think this way. Like, I feel like British people just have like the best insults, like in the English language. It's fucking incredible.
You know, it's funny because I actually kind of do like Ricky Gervais banter. That's just pretty funny.
Yeah. It's like they just have like a way of talking that we just don't hear. Oh man, it's fucking incredible to listen to.
And they really do say cunt a lot. Like, I've had friends
Yeah.
for a long time that were British and you fucking cunt. That fucking slag over there.
Which is funny that like that's such an offensive word to like the YTs over here.
I love the way that they curse because they have such a posh accent. So when they curse and they say something really crass, there's a combination of the two. It's just magic.
And wanker. That shit. They don't use it that often. Like, honestly, I had British friends for mad years. They rarely use wanker. Even though, like, that was, like, promoted as the big British word. But I don't hear them use it that often, from my
I
experience.
didn't hear Waker. I heard, are you having a laugh a lot?
You having a giggle, mate?
You have a giggle.
Shout out to the Brits. By no means, if anything, we're showing appreciation. We're not shitting
No,
on
yeah,
y'all,
we
nothing.
love the Brits.
That and Are You Mad?
You mad
That's my
lad.
favorite.
Oh, shit.
Which is funny because like English context of Are You Mad is way different from like American like trolling. Are you mad? You mad?
Are you mad, eh?
Absolutely mental.
Okay,
Fucking
real quickly,
mental.
one of the things I wanted to ask you guys, because I know none of y'all have kids or nothing, but like, how do you guys feel as adults now? Because we're at just about that time where back to school season starts. Do you guys ever feel something where you know like it's back to school time? I always feel like even before I have my daughter, when back to school time starts, like you feel the weather changing, it's a little colder in the morning. Does it like set a mood for you or something when we start entering that time period of the year?
Fuck them kids.
So,
Yeah, when you hear
wait,
them all
do you-
screaming towards the bus stop,
Bus
and you're just
stop.
like, oh, shut
Fucking
up.
move! I'm trying to get out of the goddamn complex. Fuck.
do you know where, Rob? Do you know where that came from?
Fuck them kids.
Yeah.
Now that you like asked me on the spot, I couldn't tell you like off rip, but I know. But,
Michael
tell-
Jordan.
yes.
But
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
did-
yeah, yeah. No. It was the yeah. I can't remember because he was doing the camp, and it was something like if they can score or some shit or whatever, like he was gonna get no if he missed, right?
he
I think it was
missed.
if he missed, then like the whole camp would get free Jordans, and that dude didn't miss a single shot.
So he said, "Fuck them kids," without saying "fuck them kids."
It was the meme that Michael Jordan was like, "Fuck them kids."
For me, though, I think it was like, okay, so the thing with just kind of going off of September starts rolling around, school's opening up. I think for me, it was always just that September and like the weather starts to get a little cooler. And it just, I think that was like, in my mind, was like, okay, this is like when all the good shit's going to come out, like TV shows. That's when the seasons are starting, right? It's always around the fall time. I think is like typically when, because summer is usually when like the seasons are ending of shows, right?
Because before it was like, we know you're gonna be in the house now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even though over the last 2 years, it's like, oh shit, we gotta rush shit out because no one's leaving the house.
Yeah. But yeah, so for me, that was my biggest time because that's like, all right, I know like all the new shows are coming out, all that good stuff. So that was prime time for me. And
So
on
you
top
get
of that,
excited for this time of year.
yeah, well, going to school, I hated going to school. So that part I hated. But like, and I dreaded it. Like the first day of school, I dreaded.
Yeah.
Oh man, did I ever dread that day? Like, but outside of that, yeah, it was good times.
For me, it's because I'm always out and about. It's walking into any retail store, and all you see is 70% off, back to school sale, school supplies, back to school sale, buy two get one free, back to school sale. And it's like everything's back to school sale, back to school sale. Here's the snacks, back to school sale.
And it's all for shit that us adults really don't fucking need.
And I live like right across the street from a school, so when I hear those little bastards pitter pattering up to that school, I'm like,
Them little shit kids.
Get off my lawn, damn it!
But what about for you, Tim? Like, what's like, what is it for you for September?
Back
With
to school
kids.
sale. Gotta re-up the supply.
No, because this is my first year that my daughter's starting school, so I feel a wide mixture. Like on one end, I'm so excited, like because this is the beginning of getting a little piece of me time. Like for 5 years, I've been through and through. The parent. I'm very on top of it. All of that stuff. So there's one.
Is it pre-K or kindergarten?
Kindergarten. We didn't do pre-K because I was like, the world is all fucking fucked up anyways.
Right.
Let's just skip that little segment. But so
Prepare for lots of germs and shit coming back home now.
I'm not looking forward to it. And also, I just feel like when I go to that school, because like we're supposed to have an open, meet the teacher and shit like that. I'm like, okay, so how do I fix myself? A part of me wants to go extremely menacing so that they understand, not this one. You want to play around with any of those other kids and treat them whatever, that's not this one. So I'm kind of trying to prepare myself of how do I go? Do I go like, hey, how's it going? Or do I go, yo, what's good? Yeah, that's my daughter right there. So like, how do I approach this situation so that they know not that one?
Well, I can tell you this much. Whatever impression that you leave on your teachers or guardians while they're there will probably vastly affect the experience that your child has while they're there. So just keep that in mind.
Well, I'm not saying like I'm gonna grab, listen, bitch, nothing like that. But I want them to very soundly understand, because teachers, they get, especially like with all the pandemic, some people maybe they haven't dealt with kids in a while and all of that other shit, and coming back from summer break, and it's like I just get worried because like that's my everything. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason I'm fucking here. So. It's a scary situation. Like, I'm scared to death in a way of like with the way the world is and all of that shit. But then again, a little bit like, yo, I get to go and now I can take a little drive in the morning and not worry about, you know what I'm saying? So it's a very mixed feeling for me at this stage in my life.
I think it
I hope
kind of
she's
goes
not a
like,
crier.
No. She's fucking a whiz. Just
Nah, based on what I've seen of his daughter, she's a fucking little firecracker.
Yeah.
She's a cool kid.
I think it kind of goes like, because I think from like your perspective, right? It's, you're letting your daughter go somewhere where you're not like getting to watch her, 24/7 now. So you have to give up a little bit of that like security blanket in a sense, right? Because you can't watch her all the time. So of course there's like that natural fear as a father. You're like gonna have to do that. I think over time you're gonna slowly get okay with that, right? Especially as she gets older. But
Maybe.
Also from like the teacher's perspective, it's like they deal with that all the time. Like especially like kindergarten teachers, like they're dealing with that every year. A new parent with their kid leaving them alone for the first time, right? So I'm sure they have a lot of experience, depending how old the teacher is, but they probably have a lot of experience with that. Like, yes, I know, like they probably have like every parent going in there for the first time is probably like you right now in that moment.
I think now, though, which is a new concept for everyone to have to regularly adjust to, and it's probably especially scarier for, parents that are now being ushered into this part of the child's life cycle, is the state of our country now, with all of the mass shootings and stuff going on. And it's like everybody probably thought at some point it wouldn't happen to them because of based on little small towns they live in, or with seemingly nice areas that they live in. But then it's like, oh shit, well, now I'm scared to let my kid go to school. Like, I know a bunch of people that pulled their kids out of school, and it's like, all right, no, it's homeschooling now. Homeschool.
I feel like that's like one thing that's like fundamentally different, like even just like between like you and me in the sense of school shootings, like between Canadians and Americans.
you
Like,
guys have
granted,
Trudeau.
we do.
He's gonna show up. Ain't no bullets past me, motherfucker.
You guys have Drake.
Drake,
Just showing
hey!
up like
Drake saves us all.
And the Tim Biebs.
Yeah, but like fingers crossed. I mean, I don't think we've ever had a successful school shooting here. There have been shootings, don't get me wrong, right? Like, but they're never massive, and it's not common. Like but yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess there is that fundamental difference there, which then goes into a whole other political topic. But
Let's leave that can of worms
Yeah.
right there.
Let's not.
do you guys want Trudeau? Do you guys want him?
We're good, fam.
We got Sleepy Joe here.
I'm not gonna touch either of those.
What about you, Danny? Dan, how do you feel about this whole back to school, being an adult now?
For me, traffic. That's all.
A school bus will fuck up some traffic, I tell you.
Put that stop sign out, and oh my god.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
But
Yeah,
what about, I don't know, I guess like when I think of school, like minus the whole school part of things, like me as a kid.
Minus the school part of things about school.
But it's about like just being young, right? Like I think like for us, all of us, I think the biggest thing that we love about anime, even like the new stuff that comes out, it's the nostalgia, the feeling that we got as kids, right? And I think that's what keeps us loving this shit, right? Whether it's video games, anime, whatever.
The inner child.
It's that feeling,
Yep.
exactly. It's that inner child that brings back those happy memories of all the bullshit that goes on. It gives us that moment of, I guess, escapism in a sense, right?
Yeah, I gotta say real quick, for all the massive amounts of fucking shit that high school anime get, I gotta admit that sometimes when I watch shit like that, it makes me feel nostalgic for when I used to be in school. And
Yeah, the
sometimes
slice
that,
of life shit.
you know, and sometimes that can be a good thing or a bad thing, because sometimes it reminds me of some painful memories, but at the same time, it also reminds me of a simpler time, of time when I was, young and dumb, and, I was able to make mistakes and it wasn't the end of the world. Even though I felt like that at the time, it felt like, oh my God, the fucking...
It's all over.
My whole world's like caving in on me, but like I can look back on that shit now and kind of laugh and be like, I was just being a dumb idiot. And
A high
look at
schooler
him, man.
feeling like the world is caving in. I forgot to do my fucking homework.
Good old adolescence.
Oh shit.
But no, for real, like when I watch something like Clannad, for example, like that shit hits so fucking hard because it makes me feel like, I've been transported like 15 years in the past.
Yeah, and then you get to After Story, you're like, oh yeah, being an adult is like this.
Yeah. Oh, season 2.
I gotta
fucking
watch it
wrecked my
someday.
shit.
I bought the fucking Blu-rays like 20 million years ago and I never watched it.
Dude, After Story is gonna kick you in the nuts because you have a daughter.
And that's one of
It
the
will.
reasons why well, not because of the daughter part, but I've always heard that it's like one of the saddest shits in the world. And after like 20
Yeah.
sad anime and anime starting like, holy shit, this is like putting me into depression. That's why I never jumped into, because I was like, I can't do it no more.
Dev, I'm gonna tell you, man. It's specifically because you have a daughter. Matter of fact, there's a lot about Clannad that is gonna resonate with you specifically, and you're just gonna be like, oh my God.
The thing is though, is Clannad is also a really funny show. Like it's not just like the whole time it's just like dragging your emotions. Like there's a lot of like stupid, fun, like goofy stuff in it that's just entertaining. And
But that's
it takes
mostly like part season 1.
It is mostly season 1. That stuff is in season 2, in like the first half of season 2. But like it takes a while before the show like really starts to hit you with like the really emotional stuff.
Like Angel Beats, because I know people used to compare Angel Beats to that. And Angel Beats starts off a little bit, but then you start,
Interesting.
Holy shit.
I don't think Angel Beats is nearly as good as Clannad.
Oh, really? I loved Angel
Not
Beats.
even. I don't think it's even close.
They have their own charms, but I mean, I
I'm
don't know
not
why
trying to
people would
shit-
compare them.
I'm not trying to shit on Angel Beats. I'm not saying Angel Beats is like a bad show. I'm just saying like I think Clannad is like by far the better show. Like it's not even close.
And
I
Angel
think it's
Beats is
only
great.
because Clannad had more time to work with 2 seasons, whereas like Angel Beats.
That was one of my complaints with Angel Beats, was that
Rushed.
it didn't flesh itself out enough. Like I felt like there was a lot more that it could have done. And
That was an anime original, right? Like it was.
Yeah, it was.
Like no manga source material.
I'm pretty sure it was. And I felt like there was stuff in it that was undercooked. Like I felt like there should have been more to it. Like it felt like, especially I remember there was like the pink-haired girl. They were trying to help her with her problem, and then she was able to pass on afterwards. Like I felt like that was going to be like the structure of the show moving on, and it really wasn't like that. It was just kind of a one-off, and I felt like that was really disappointing because I felt like they could have had like a show that was like 3 times as long, that was like that had that structure, and it could have worked really well.
It did seem like that like most of the show is filler, and then towards the end of it is when they started saying, okay, we're gonna start like making all these students like pass on,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, but it felt like once they figured out that's what they were supposed to do, then it just kind of went by really quickly.
I'll throw in a theory that maybe it was because it was an anime original, and one-off shit is always better on TV because anybody could watch it. Maybe their thought process was, well, let's start it off where anybody could watch it, and then we'll still make it a solid anime so the fandom can actually be there for it down the road. Maybe that's what they were thinking.
I don't know, because
I don't know.
Madoka Magica was a slow burner.
Madoka Magica.
By episode 3, that shit fucking... Well, it was only 12 episodes, so yeah.
Yeah, and she didn't even become a magic girl until episode 11.
I think Madoka Magica is a little bit different. Madoka Magica felt like that felt like a complete like beginning to ending experience. Like it felt like it did and said everything it wanted to, it set out to do.
Until we got those movies, and then you get fucking 20 minutes of Keiki, get that shit out of here.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Rebellion. Rebellion was like 90% just shit I didn't care about until like at the very end where it finally
Rebellion
got
was movie 2, right?
No, it was movie 3.
The first
Was
two
that movie 3?
The first 2 were recaps, I think, and then the third
Yes.
one, it like reminds you, like, wait a minute, no, we did this before.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually interested in 3 all the way through, surprisingly enough.
Shout out to Gen Urobuchi. Oh my god, I know Shintai loves to discredit the Butcher.
I don't discredit him.
But Nasu
Psychopath-
was with him. Nasu did it all. Fuck him. Yeah.
No. That's only when we're talking about Fate Zero. Madoka is his thing. Madoka is fucking great. I'm not taking anything away from Urobuchi. He also did Psychopath season 1, which I also thought was really good.
Oh my god, yeah.
Up
haven't
until
done,
the twist towards the end, which I thought was a little whack, but whatever.
I haven't seen the new
Otherwise, it was
Puella
good.
anime.
Yeah, isn't there like a new a continuation or a spin-off or some shit they did?
I don't know how like what the time difference is like in universe between like the Madoka girls and like the new set of cast members, but yeah, it is in like the same universe. I want to say it has to be around the same time because technically Madoka like does whatever she does in the movie or the finale, right? Should have been the end, and then the movie happened, and then there was like more shit, which didn't really make sense to me.
Shout outs to Madoka. I love that cover. I forgot who did it, but the Goofy singing the Madoka. Kamosito yo, Madoka.
Pro ZD.
Yeah, that shit was fucking.
Oh, he did it?
hilarious. Yeah. Kamosito
guys.
yo, Madoka.
That guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
That guy is so freaking funny. Like,
Yeah,
oh
he's
my
pretty funny.
god.
I get in a rabbit hole watching his shit when I do.
I know, same.
It's been a while since I've seen his content, though. He hasn't popped up in my algorithms for quite some time.
Well,
He's doing.
he
I
did
think
like
he moved on to Vine.
Vine. Vine is dead.
Oh no, wait.
TikTok.
Yo, you have me questioning Vine. Did I miss something?
No, he's a voice actor.
Yeah, he's doing
Yeah,
like pro
yeah, he
voice
is.
acting now. Like he even
That's
had
when I stopped seeing him as much, when he started landing like professional gigs because of his.
like on he has an original show on Crunchyroll, which I was like,
I remember
what
that.
the fuck? Like, yeah, he's tied in.
He's legit.
Yeah,
I think that shit got slotted on the Verve app, right? At one point.
I don't know his show.
I don't know either.
That app went downhill.
The Verve? I don't think I've ever even heard of that.
VRV. So when they first launched it, because it was a Crunchyroll app, and it was kind of like a hub app. So at first it was Crunchyroll. If you had the premium Verve account for like $10 a month, it would include Crunchyroll Premium, Funimation Premium, Rooster Teeth, and then at some point they ended up getting Nick Splat and Boomerang, and then they lost Funimation and replaced Funimation with High Dive, which was just the Anime Network rebranded. So if anybody had like cable TV and they had like the Anime Network on demand, that was High Dive. Like as a streaming service, and then they lost High Dive, and then they lost Nixplat, and then they lost Boomerang, and then they kept Rooster Teeth, and then they started getting like these other like little weird like other side shit that was more geared towards like indie content.
Oh, okay.
And then eventually they did the Funimation merger. So I was like, so we're full circle.
Went back around.
So real quick, shout outs to ProZD. He's gonna be in the new God of War Ragnarok.
Nice.
I think he
Yep.
did something with he was like hosting, or he's gonna host the Bleach, because they're putting the Bleach 4th movie in theaters, and he's gonna be like hosting it. Like he's leveled up quite a bit.
You guys
Yeah.
gonna see the Super movie this week?
Yep.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
my tickets already pre-ordered.
Got my ticket.
I'm skeptical, but I'm gonna go as much open-minded as I possibly can. I want to have a good time at the very least. Like, I'm going with my family. I just want everybody to enjoy seeing a piece of my childhood on the big screen and shit like that.
The fact that it's gonna be CGI kind of ceiling capped my expectations for it. So
Likewise,
I'm
yeah.
hoping it at least exceeds my expectations. I doubt it'll be better than the Broly movie.
From what I heard, a trusted friend of mine told me that because he watched it like in league. He said it was like a 6.5 out of 10 at best. I'm hoping. Let's get the 7. I'll be satisfied with just this. Give me the 7 out of 10. Let me feel like it was just good, and then I can move on. But
I care more about this One Piece movie coming.
yes, film fucking red. Let's go, Shanks.
Mm-hmm. Need all that Shanks content. Manga readers are eating good. It's a great time to be a One Piece fan. I tell you that,
Heading
brother.
into the finale.
Yeah, being a Dragon Ball fan right now is like not the greatest because like the manga is kind of just shit in the bed right now, and yeah, this new movie is kind of like, eh.
Hey,
Wait, what series?
at least we got Dragon Ball Legend.
But it kind of sucks, right? Because it's like we have Gohan and Piccolo being the stars of this movie, which should be like everyone should be like, holy fuck, finally a story that's not Goku, right? And yet it's like it's being tarnished because of the CGI crap.
They gave us the carrot and the stick. It's like the carrot
Yeah.
look at Gohan and Piccolo, but that 3D CG Bakata.
Yeah,
It's smacking you with the stick.
Yeah, people, this has been a wacky but very fucking enjoyable episode of, what is this called again?
We created a podcast and we couldn't come up with a name, so we settled on this sentence right here being the title. I am your late host, Rob Lucci, and I got all of my guys here with me who are early with the perfect attendance. Not really, because everyone's been late. That's what I don't look forward to at school, right?
What, perfect
Getting up early, perfect attendance, getting up early, the whole shebang.
I distinctly fucking remember being a senior in high school, and they gave out some award to some kid that was never absent for a single day of school for all 12 years. And I was like, that bitch is a liar. I don't believe him. There's no way. How could you have never gotten sick or anything for every, like,
Powered
no.
through it.
How the fuck?
Puked in
How
the bathroom.
Very stable life, that's how.
No way. I don't believe it.
And on that note, good night, guys.
Peace.